Hey, it's Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers. Wow, this is a bit different. I'm not Dustin bringing you the fin tips. Now we've changed that up a bit and now it's both Dustin and myself, but now we've changed the whole backdrop for the studio. All right, I've got a confession to make. If you watch fin tips all the time, I'm actually doing that little, quarantine thing. So I'm working from my home studio, but what I want to do is talk about the inherited IRA today. I want to talk about a tax trick that could be super awesome for your situation. The reason for that is a lot of people get an inherited IRA and they don't need the money right this second. But the way everything is set up, the government says you have to start taking money. So what if I could say, yes, down the road, you're still going to have to pay taxes. But what if you don't have to pay taxes today, even if you are withdrawing that money? That's the tax trick that I want to talk to you about. So I've got my handy dandy, I don't have my handy dandy whiteboard or blackboard that we use with the studio, but what I do have is a super cool different way that I'm going to do this today. And so I've got my Surface Pro here, and I'm going to draw it out on that. I'm going to share that with you on the screen right here in just a second. So how this is going to work, what we're going to do is, let's just say that you've got $100,000 in your inherited IRA. There we go. So if we've got $100,000 in that inherited IRA, you've got 10 years to withdraw all of that money if you aren't a spouse that inherited it, or a minor child, or somebody with a disability. Those are a bit different with the rules, so we're going to talk about everybody else when it comes to this. So if you've got your $100,000 in that inherited IRA, what you are going to do now is you're going to say, all right, we've got our $100,000. Now we need to start withdrawing from it. So let's just say I know that growth is going to happen in the portfolio. It's not something that is hopefully you're going to grow your money, but also it could go down. But we're going to keep it with even numbers here with that $100,000. What we're going to look at is taking out $10,000 per year over a 10-year period of time. Now, the one catch with all of this is that you have to have an employer retirement plan. So let's say with this employer retirement plan, we're going to call that your 401k. A lot of people have the 401k. What you're going to need to do is as you're taking this $10,000 out, what ends up happening is, let's just stick with this $100,000 number right this second. If you make $100,000 a year, well, now if you took $10,000 out of an inherited IRA, that's pre-tax money. So what it's going to look like if the government's looking at this is they're going to say, well, you just made $10,000 more money. Now you have to pay us on that. So now it's going to show that you made $110,000. But here's where it gets a little crazy and the trick that I can show you. What you're going to do though is, now that you've got the 110 here, you've got 10 extra. Well, why don't you just reduce your paycheck a little bit, put a little bit of extra money into your 401k plan, maybe $10,000, which would then decrease your income. So what we're going to do right now is, now we're going to say we're going to put $10,000 into the 401k plan. If we do that, then so it shows you have, first let's start with, you're making $100,000. Now you're making 110 because you had to take 10,000 out of the inherited IRA. But then what you're going to do is defer 10 again, because you're putting that into the 401k plan. So now you're back to that $100,000. Overall, it's looking as though that you really did a wash. You don't have any money. Now, again, you're kicking the can down the road. You're going to have to pay taxes on this money, but when you have to pay taxes is going to be on you versus the government saying you have to do it right this second. The cool thing about it is we start doing different things later on when you're getting into the retirement years. Maybe your income has dropped. It's a great time to look at Roth conversions. We do that with our Nest Egg software. We talk a bit about that in Fin Tips. So that's one of those that maybe you could jump in and do some Roth conversions later on instead of having to worry about paying the taxes now. So hopefully that's helpful for you. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe for us, leave me a comment, let me know what you would like me to do a Fin Tips video on next. Thanks for watching.